So if you've been trying to fix your emotional eating by controlling it, stopping it, or just getting rid of it, and it's still there, this might be the reason why. What if the thing you've been resisting is actually the doorway to your healing? So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Michelle. I'm a certified holistic nutritionist specializing in emotional eating. So let's get into it. So a lot of women that I work with are very aware. They've gone to therapy. They've tried many things to resolve their emotional eating. They usually know it's not hunger. And every time that they emotionally eat, they just tell themselves, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be emotionally eating. What's wrong with me? And so, of course, what follows is shame, guilt, feeling like you're broken. And then, of course, that triggers even more emotional eating and you're back in the spiral. And so the pattern goes, you're triggered, you go to emotional eating, you know you shouldn't be doing it, you feel shame and guilt, that triggers more emotional eating, and you're back in this pattern. And naturally the instinct might be, I need more discipline, I need to control this, I need to stop. But what if that's what's keeping the cycle going? At least in part. So when I'm working with women, one of the big pieces that I love to share with them is not about stopping your emotional eating completely. It's about actually accepting where you're at with your emotional eating. And part of this is also acceptance of your body or acceptance of your physical body, where you're currently at with this whole process. And that is, I usually get a lot of eye rolls when I talk about body acceptance, but acceptance in general, like maybe you're not losing weight. Maybe you feel like you should be further ahead. You're not in acceptance of where you're at in this moment. And acceptance is not about, oh my God, I'll just be this way forever. I'm fine with being this way. Acceptance is about getting into the present moment, seeing the reality of where you're at, what's going on, because that is the only place we can create true change. If you're still fighting yourself, fighting your body, fighting your pattern, you are creating more stress, more shame, and actually triggering more emotional eating. Acceptance is really about seeing what's actually there, creating your emotional eating pattern. I literally tell clients when we're working together, it's okay if you fall into an emotional eating episode. We are working on the pattern in a certain way. We're not going to instantly stop emotional eating. That is back in the old control, don't do it, shame, discipline cycle. And that's not where we want to be. We want to get into the root. Because emotional eating is not something random. It's a response to your triggers, to your stressors, to your emotions. And when you try to stop what your body knows to do to feel okay, that actually makes you feel less safe. It actually creates more stress and more pressure in that moment. So let's say you've had a stressful day and you come home and you reach out to food. If you say, I need to stop this, you kind of grip and you have control, you're not going to understand. You're going to actually make yourself want the food more because you're creating more stress and more of a need to soothe yourself. But if you were to actually understand what was happening, actually be working on your emotional eating and seeing that, oh, I've learned to go to food to soothe myself when I've had a stressful day. If you even rewind even more and noticing your day, noticing the stressors of your day and not dismissing them and seeing how they impact you, you're going to have a lot more compassion for yourself and acceptance of why this is happening. I'm not saying that's where, we stop. If you're working in a program to help you with your emotional eating, if you're working with me inside of the Emotional Eating Evolution program, this is important. We don't want you to grip and control and not emotionally eat. It's okay if you give in, because as you're learning to meet your deeper needs, as you're going into the root of the pattern, this will start resolving. But if we don't have something to actually meet your deeper needs and you only have food or you're partway in the journey and you keep gripping, you're going to spiral even more into emotional eating. Because emotional eating is like this holding space. It's holding this space and it's sort of this band-aid. It's the solution you came up to. It's a solution you have to soothe yourself, to calm yourself, to de-stress after a long day. If you just literally take that away without putting in what you actually need, you're creating this gaping giant hole that's just going to want more and pull you deeper into your emotional eating and trigger it even more. This is why we need to work with this pattern in a more accepting and compassionate way, knowing that even though you might emotionally eat during the healing process, it's okay once you know what to do to get to the deeper root. And this was my journey as well. I had to work backwards. I had to go back to my emotional eating episodes and look at what was going on and start healing the roots of them. And eventually, in the moment, I could pause and meet my needs, but that took time. And I see this happen with clients. Eventually, they get there. They know what's really going on when they're triggered, and they can use the tools to go deeper to meet their deeper needs. But it doesn't happen instantly. And if you're not in a program and you are shaming yourself and trying to discipline yourself, you're actually doing more damage than good to this pattern. And so acceptance is really key and important when you're resolving this. You're pulling back on the urgency and on the stress and actually softening the pattern so you can go in and explore and meet your deeper needs. And that's what helps to shift this long term. So inside of the Emotional Eating Evolution program, this is what we're doing overall. This is kind of the overarching theme of the program. There is acceptance. There's specifically body acceptance because I find that can be a big trigger to clients. But when my clients soften into this acceptance and really see what their pattern has been doing, how it has been helping them, they realize that they're not out of control. They're not broken. It's just that they haven't had these needs met. And now we're going in and doing that deeper work to meet those needs. And this is what starts resolving emotional eating, starts giving you that ease and peace and confidence around food and in your body. And so this is what we're doing inside of the Emotional Eating Evolution program through each layer of the program, through true nourishment, body acceptance, and emotional wellness. We are accepting where we're currently at, what our current needs are, and we're going deeper. We're finding those triggers to emotional eating, we're honoring the pattern, and we're using the tools to actually resolve it at the root so you can get to ease and peace and confidence on the other side. So if you're looking for more support to resolve your emotional eating, you're ready to look at your emotional eating in a different way, I'd love to invite you to find out more about the Emotional Eating Evolution program. This is my 12-week container with the step-by-step process to resolving your emotional eating. There are one-to-one sessions with me, weekly office hours, support, and guidance to get you through and resolve your emotional eating in a way where you're not gripping for control, in a way that feels more easeful and safe to your body. So if you'd like to find out more about the program, you can find out more below. And if you have any questions about what I've shared today, please let me know. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And I look forward to sharing more with you, and I hope you have a great day.